Shauna and I are here with Lorna Lansard with Simple Life Celebrations, and we are talking about minimalism today. As you may or may not know, Shauna and myself have been doing a Simple Life Celebrations Minimalist Challenge in our own homes. We've gone through cupboards, closets, shelves, pretty much any space possible, really thinking about what we need and what we don't need, thus redefining our rooms. It's been a really good learning experience, I have to say, and for the most part, I think we've enjoyed doing it. So, Lorna, could you just tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Well, I have two daughters, two wonderful daughters, and I have an inherited son, aka my daughter's husband, and I have a beautiful granddaughter who just turned 1. And I would say, briefly, I am all about balance.
Perfect. We'll just dive into the minimalism thing.
Okay.
How would you define minimalism?
I guess how I wouldn't define it, let's start with how I wouldn't define it. I wouldn't define it in a way that a lot of people may think when they hear the word minimalism. Yes. I wouldn't define it as an extreme disregard and of everything material. Mm-hmm. Because I don't believe that's a good balance.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would define it as a conscious effort to really think about and make choices about what you want in your home and in your life.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Would you yourself consider yourself a minimalist?
I would say to a degree. And like I said earlier, I wouldn't consider myself an extreme minimalist. Mm-hmm. Although I recently went from a 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment. And so some people may think that was extreme, but I don't think it's extreme at all. At this point in my life, with my children gone, it's just me. It works for me.
Okay. Have you always leaned towards a minimalist style, or is this something newer in your life?
I would say I have to a degree. I've always had that thought in the back of my mind, whether or not I actually took the time to think about it and act on it. I would say I didn't always, but I would, again, since my children were gone and have been gone and I'm alone, I've been doing more of that, mm-hmm. thinking about it more, and thinking more about what I want in my life. Mm-hmm. And like I defined minimalism, what I want in my life and what I don't.
Right. Would you recommend living with less material things to everyone? And what would the benefits be for that?
I would say definitely. And of course everyone's different. And for some people it may not work as well as others. Depending on their lifestyle, their work, their family, what's going on in their lives. But I think most people could reduce. And it's partly environmental, it's partly cultural, it's partly an emotional choice, because I feel that a cluttered atmosphere creates a cluttered mind, mm-hmm. and I think a person would be wise to make a choice about how they want to spend their time. Because when you think of how much time you spend on your stuff, you start by buying it, shopping for it first, online or in the stores, you buy it, you clean it, you fix it, you organize it, you move it from this room to the other one, from this house to the next one, and then you sell it. And you think of how much time that takes for a lot of times items that you never use, or use very little. And I think the benefits would be not only learning more about yourself, but also if you were to take that step and make that choice, I think you would have a lot more time on your hands to spend on things that you feel are more important.
That leads into my next question on any advice on how to become minimalist. I think you gave us some great advice on...
I could give you lots of tips, let's say, do's and don'ts, strategies, and they're all technical, on how to purge your house and how to set limits for yourself and all the little technical things. But really it's a state of mind. You have to make up your mind. You have to consciously choose to live your life differently. And once you do that, once you really do that and look deep inside yourself, all the little technical stuff, it comes. It'll come anyway as you're going, as you're physically doing it. You and Shauna probably found that out when you're going through your house.
Definitely.
Because you made that choice. Going through your house and deciding what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep, it just happened. And then you probably came up with all these ideas as you were going through.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, that's true. Because the very first cupboard that I did, I was like, oh, I can't get rid of this. And I thought Shauna was going to lynch me, but I started to get rid of things, and it just got easier.
Yeah.
Like you say, once you get in that state of mind, you just start getting rid of things and realizing that they are just things and that you're not going to miss them probably, and they don't really matter. Relationships matter, so. This is the one I've been waiting for. What are your favorite places to shop and why? Because I have to say, Lorna has the coolest
Lorna rules.
stuff and has the neatest shopping tricks. So,
well, I don't know. I shop secondhand a lot of the times, and boy, you can find some amazing stuff. And it's not just to save money. Of course, that's part of it. I mean, why would I want to spend more money than I need to? That's foolish in my mind. But also, it's the thrill of the hunt. But I'm very particular too. Like I don't anymore. Anyway, I don't bring home any junk. I bring home things that I'm going to use, and of course, I go by the 1 in, 1 out rule, or maybe 1 in and 2 out if I can. I've done that. And but I do like to shop secondhand, and I like to support businesses that adopt that attitude, and not so much the big box stores, unless I need something, and I'll choose that too. I'm not extreme. I'm not going to boycott Walmart, but it's probably not my first choice. But I like Kijiji. I like Salvation Army better than Value Village. And I like garage sales. But, yeah.
So is part of that an environmental decision?
Oh, definitely.
Keeping things out of our landfill?
Absolutely. And Freecycle is something I discovered about a year ago. I discovered Freecycle, and it's a website. You actually do your advertising by email. You email the group, so to speak, but it's entirely free. People are either looking for something or they're giving something away, and people advertise the strangest things.
Really?
Yeah, anything, absolutely anything can go on there, and you're not allowed to ask money or even talk about money. You're not allowed to do that, and but it keeps all this. Tons and tons and tons of stuff has been kept out of the landfill because of that site. So
so do we have a local Freecycle?
The groups that I belong to, one was Airdrie, one was Red Deer, and one was Mountain View County. So there's groups.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So because I'm kind of in the middle here, I belong to all three of them, and it's better for people in the city because sometimes you got to move fast, right? You see something posted, you've got to call quick and if you want it.
Yeah.
And so it does keep things out of the landfill. But again, you've got to be in a certain state of mind because all this stuff is free.
Exactly.
You could go nuts.
Right. I was just going to ask.
You could start hoarding,
right?
Because if you've got all this free stuff.
And it can be addicting if you're constantly checking it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And when I was cleaning out my 3-bedroom house, I used it a lot, but I haven't used it since.
And you had a good response from that?
Yeah. There were a couple of things I couldn't get rid of, so I had to put them on Kijiji, and I got rid of them just like that. I just put them on Kijiji free.
As free, yeah.
As free, and because there's a bigger base there. But so that works too if you want to just give things away. But I sold some bigger things and gave away a lot of little things. I also, and it was a little off topic, but I also gave away a lot to organizations in the community. I gave to a daycare down the street.
Oh,
I had a lot of craft supplies from my kids.
good idea.
I gave them probably 7 boxes of craft supplies.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know it's going to somewhere where they can use
It's
it.
going to be used. They'll appreciate it, and it's not going to go to the landfill. They were thrilled to get it.
Good.
Plus, I gave a lot of school supplies to a family I know of that had a lot of kids,
Oh, good.
and were homeschooled. So I gave several boxes to them.
Right.
So
Excellent. We'll have to go garage sailing this summer. I love garage sailing.
yeah. We'll see who's more disciplined.
Yeah, well, probably you.
Probably. I've got a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. You touched on the 1 in, 1 out, or 1 in, 2 out rule.
Mhm.
Can you just explain that for those that don't know what that
Oh,
is?
if you bring anything into your house, you've got to take something out.
Yeah.
So
Simple as that.
simple as that.
Also, when you were giving us a tour of your place here, you had a basket. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, I keep a basket in my apartment that anything I want to get rid of goes in that basket. So it's always really handy. I'm not going, oh, okay, I found this item I want to get. I've got a lamp in there right now because I got a different lamp that has that's brighter and it's better for reading. So I have an old lamp in there to give away, and if I didn't have that basket, I might tend to just shove it in a cupboard for now.
Yeah.
You know, for now.
Exactly. Yeah, like we do.
But
Yeah.
the basket's handy. I throw stuff in there, and I don't think about it until it's full, and then I take it to the secondhand store down the street.
Excellent.
And it's just little things.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly thinking, like, it's not like I stay awake at night, but as I'm living and going
Yeah.
about my house, I'm always thinking, do I really need that? And if not, it goes in the basket.
Good idea.
So it's on its way out right away. It's not getting shoved in a closet in the corner somewhere.
Do you have any minimalist role models or blogs that you follow, or just anyone that you've looked up to that's kind of set the standard or given you ideas? Or
I would say no. I haven't really.
so it's your
No.
choice, and
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I can't think of anyone that I've. Oh, Simple Life Celebration.
oh yay! You've kind of touched on this too, but I'll just get you to explain it a little bit more. What does minimalism mean to you in your life?
I guess I might be repeating myself, but I guess it means making a conscious choice, not just going constantly looking at that pile, going, yeah, I should probably do something about that, or yeah, I might have too much stuff. Actually, make a choice and do it. And it's not like you don't have time.
Oh,
remember
yeah, I could
all the
write.
time we
Yeah.
spend on our stuff
Yeah.
and watching TV and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's not an extreme thing. Like I'm not going to be getting rid of my TV or my microwave or anything like that. You know, I'm not going to go live in a cave by myself somewhere. I don't do that. But but it's a matter of balance. You know, you come into this world with nothing. You leave with nothing. I don't understand the obsession with accumulating things in between.
Right.
You know, there's so many other things we could do with our time, and we are only here for a short time. I think about it every time I see my grown daughters. I think, oh my God, how'd that happen? And we need to make better choices with the short time we're here.
Do you have any advice for those that perhaps want to try a more minimalist lifestyle, or that have a lot of stuff that just want to begin?
Call a friend, I would say. I've often said, and I think I've said this to Shauna, that we should go in each other's houses and help each other because we don't see it.
Yeah.
And we're blind to it, to that pile of stuff. We're blind to that overflowing cupboard of crap. We don't see it because we look at it every day. We need somebody else to come in and help and say, you haven't used that in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Why on earth are you holding on to that, you know? And I would say call a friend and get started and change your attitude about it. Make up your mind. Make a conscious choice. But I don't expect people to just, you know, all of a sudden wake up one morning and say, okay, I'm going to become a minimalist today.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's going to take some time.
Process.
And it's a process. But, you know, it's a lot more fun to do it together.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
Because often they'll see something that you wouldn't have even thought of. Well, can't you use this instead of this? Or are you sure you should use that?
Yeah, there's so many strategies. So many strategies. And I might email you a list of things that run around in my head sometimes.
That would be great.
As to, you know, things. I won't get into it right now because it's all technical, but I'll, you know, like the basket, keeping the basket handy, the out basket.
Great. I just want to thank you for having us into your home.